Daryl, thank you for getting me out of OKC before they paid me less than Serge Ibaka and made me come off the bench like friggin' Manu Ginobili. You once said that it was factual that I was a better scorer than Michael Jordan. Then I went out and got outscored by Luge Dort in a Game 7 against OKC. You're the reason Adidas sends me all these shoes. Holler at me in Philly. I know a place. A few, actually. I have a punch card. Alright, shut up and listen, everybody. Ha! Morey Ball, thank you kindly for all these great years. Too bad I wasn't here for any of them. Well, I would wish you the best of luck, but you're not in business with me anymore, so what good are you? Also, I think small ball is stupid. I've been looking at our team's balls for weeks, and they don't look any smaller than the other team's balls. Here's to Daryl, and here's to you paying the bill tonight. Am I right? Am I right? Daryl, I know it was against your will and everything you stand for, but thanks for saving me from OKC too, and bringing me here to this team where I get to play with my best friend James, and everyone loves me, and I get all these open shots, and everyone here says they'll never be able to trade me. I assume that's because I'm still so damn good. I look forward to working with you more. Congratulations on your extension. We represent the coalition of players over 7 feet tall around the world. Thanks for nothing, you piece of shit.
Doncic pulls up. Bang! Bang! James floats it up, and Anthony Davis with a one-handed tomahawk. We'll have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Watch your feet, you're in the NickVanExit row, and today we're saying goodbye to Daryl Morey's time in Houston, looking back on the Clippers' mixed messaging over the season, and breaking down Luka Doncic's three-point percentage that was kind of subpar this season. Let's get into it. Daryl Morey stepped down as general manager of the Rockets this week after 13 years in Houston. I'm sure Morey will have another job in the NBA if he wants it. He apparently almost took the Sixers job last season. But Morey's time with the Rockets has been eventful, impactful, and worth taking a look back on. During his tenure, the Rockets never dipped below 500, a mark that Morey is very proud of. They also had the second best record in the NBA, just behind the Spurs during that 13-year span. They were like the Big Bang Theory of NBA teams. They were always there. Some people thought that they were really good. We gave them awards, and apparently a ton of people watched them, but it's not for everybody.
It literally is the most popular comedy of all time.
I know. I can't watch. It's too nerdy.
Good,
I would.
glad
It's
that
too
you
smart.
so good.
And I'm not dumb. It's just it's
No, it's
corny.
absolutely.
I can't get into it. And I can't. I mean, I don't get the jokes.
Don't be
But I
lying. A lot of
remember when y'all started $1 million an episode, and I was like, who the is watching this show?
Morey famously made the trade for James Harden, which is a deal that almost immediately went etched into NBA GM textbooks, if something like that existed. The Harden trade is now the measuring stick for all trades in the NBA. Oh yes, your trade was very bad, but at least it wasn't the Harden trade. Oh yes, as such. In 2018, the Rockets won 65 games, something only 21 teams have ever done in nearly 1,500 attempts, and they were 14 minutes away from beating the Kevin Durant-led Warriors and facing LeBron in the NBA Finals. Morey deservedly won Executive of the Year that season. The Morey and Harden era of the Houston Rockets will go down in history like the Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni 7 seconds or less Suns teams of their era. They came this close to winning a title, or at least getting there, but unlike the 2011 Mavericks or the 04 Pistons or the 06 Heat, things just didn't break their way. The Rockets also launched the most threes in the NBA during that 13-year span too, something I'm sure will be part of their legacy. Morey's whole small ball style wasn't just about jacking up threes or getting rid of unskilled big men and adding shooters everywhere. It was about maximizing the kind of shots that were the most efficient and having 5 players on the court that could get them those shots. If you want one picture that displays the impact Daryl Morey had on NBA basketball on the court, it's this. Here are the kind of shots that NBA teams took the season before Morey became GM of the Rockets and this past year. Notice a pattern? This is why people say that the mid-range is dead, but the math works out. These are the most efficient shots in the game, and every team has signed on. This season, the Rockets had a decent record and lost to the eventual champs in the second round. Not really an extraordinary season on paper, but Morey did do 2 things that may be the most memorable and impactful from his time in Houston. First, he sent the infamous Free Hong Kong tweet that will cost the NBA hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm sure countless hours of meetings in the league office trying to navigate the principle of the cause in Hong Kong along with the principle in their ledger. Morey also decided to completely forego centers or big men of any kind on his rotation this year, fully embracing his small ball style. I don't think the big men are going away anytime soon, but the NBA league average height decreased last season for the first time in NBA history, dropping from 6'7" to 6'6" and staying there again this year at 6'6". I don't think Morey set out to bring the average NBA height down for the first time ever, but like Napoleon with a calculator and a subscription to League Pass, he did, and others are following suit. The LA Clippers ended their season in disastrous fashion this year, and everyone has gotten their jokes in, including me. If they gave the best shipbuilder award to the guy that made the Titanic before it was set sail. The Clippers were the team that talked all the smack and couldn't back it up, like Scut Farkus from Christmas Story.
Cry now? Come on, cry, baby, cry for me, come on. You Thornton Notre Dame.
But one of the reasons why these jokes hit so hard was because of the ad campaign the Clippers ran before the season. Billboards strategically all over LA saying things like LA our way, driven over given, streetlights over spotlight, snarl over style, we over me, name takers over lame Lakers. Alright, I made that last one up. But would you be surprised if they did? There's an obvious slant to these ads that say we're nothing like those entitled, overexposed, style over substance Lakers over there across the hallway. The ad that I want to focus the most on was the we over me statement, because according to sources, The Athletic reported that players like Patrick Beverley, Montrezl Harrell, and Lou Williams, the Clippers' bedrocks before the arrival of Kawhi Leonard, bristled when Leonard was permitted to take games off due to management of his body and to live in San Diego, which also led him to being late for team flights. Now, there's nothing wrong with Kawhi getting star treatment in my book. It just happens. He has leverage, but this story alone goes against everything they said that they were for. Spotlight, style, given, me. Lou Will and Harrell have both clapped back on social media at the notion that they were bristled or whatever. Lou Will said, "Dog, I don't even know what bristle means, LOL. Where you get your source from? Out your source." And Harrell said, "Man, y'all create anything for a story, huh?" Both of which aren't really denials that they were really upset with Kawhi's star treatment, but would you really be surprised if they did? Luka Doncic had an incredible sophomore year in the NBA. He went from fringe all-star candidate who received just one second-team All-NBA vote in his rookie year to an all-star starter, first-team All-NBA who came in fourth in the MVP race. Doncic improved in a few ways, and the Mavs completely embraced his style of play. They handed over the keys to him instead of continuing the Dennis Smith Jr. experiment or letting Harrison Barnes ISO and take the ball out of his hands. Instead, they surrounded him with shooters by signing Seth Curry back and the obvious Kristaps Porzingis deal. Doncic went from 82 touches a game to nearly 96 a game, which was second in the league only to Nikola Jokic at 97 a game. Luka also started dominating the paint during his second year. That's one of the biggest areas of improvement for him. During his rookie year, Doncic shot 58.8% on 4.7 attempts per game within 5 feet of the rim, which ranked 94th in the league. During his second season, he bumped that up to 69% on 6.9 attempts per game.
Nice. Nice.
Very nice.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
That mark ranked 14th in the league, better than Jokic, LeBron, Bam Adebayo, and even big men like Clint Capella and DeAndre Jordan, who all they do is just catch lobs and dunk. Luka's stats all went to historic levels. He became one of just 3 humans to average 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists per game in a season, along with Westbrook and Oscar Robertson. If you looked at one area where statistically Luka could improve, it's his 3-point percentage. Doncic shot 32.7% from 3 on 7 attempts per game his rookie year, which dropped to 31.6% from 3 on almost 9 attempts per game during his second year. But let's look at that percentage a little closer because I don't think it tells the whole story. We know Luka is a good shooter. Of course he could do better. Luka shot 37.4% on 1.8 catch-and-shoot threes per game during his rookie year, but that number dropped to a weird 28% on 1.2 attempts per game during his second year. Luka doesn't play with another playmaker often, and this is a reason a lot of people think that the Mavs should add a high-level secondary creator. But whoever is throwing him the ball, he has to hit those shots. So there are things he can do to improve his overall three-point percentage, but it doesn't seem to be holding the Mavs back. He did shoot 36.4% from three on 44 total attempts during the playoffs and hit one of the biggest shots of the whole season.
Finney-Smith to inbound. Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
Man, I never get tired of that clip. So Luka shot better from three in the playoffs than he did during the regular season. Some people might think that that was just a bubble bump that a lot of players received and made Jamal Murray unguardable. But Luka actually shot worse in the seeding games than he did during the playoffs. Both happened in the same bubble, on the same courts, on the same rims. It's kind of hard to explain when you put it like that, but here's a stat that may explain Luka's three-point percentage in the regular season better. Here's a breakdown of Luka's three-point shots during the regular season in his second year based on how much time was left on the shot clock. As you can see, Luka took the bulk of his shots with 7 to 15 seconds left on the shot clock, and he shot 36% on shots between 4 and 15 seconds. That's a solid percentage. The number that sticks out are the shots from 0 to 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and these are the ones that really bring down Luka's percentage. He only hit 4 of those 58 shots. These shots are what I call bailout shots. They're at the end of the shot clock, either by his own volition or the Mavs needing to be bailed out by a forced step back that is heavily contested, sometimes by multiple defenders. Sometimes, even when the shot clock is off, Luka will chuck up shots just like this to see if they go in. Sometimes more than once in the same possession.
It's got to get in, and it's into Luka. A little bump he had to absorb as he caught it from Justin Holiday. Luka with Holiday flying by. Three, off the rim, no good. Chase to the corner. Dallas has it back. Luka in the corner again, no good. And it is all over.
See, Luka doesn't care about his three-point percentage. It's not going to be the difference between him getting paid or not. It's not going to win the Mavs games if he acts scared and passes the ball off or takes the shot clock violation like a quarterback throwing the ball away. Luka sees the ball, he shoots the ball. That's the whole picture. So if you remove those 58 shots with 0 to 4 seconds left in the clock, which are largely ridiculous shots that he has no business taking, Luka's percentage goes up by 4 percentage points, up to 34.2%, which is still not a great percentage, but it's much more respectable, and it's just under league average, which was 35.8% this past season. Luka isn't Russell Westbrook, where he's getting some wide open shots and he's just missing them. Westbrook shot 14% on threes, where his defender was 4 to 6 feet away from him last season. Yes, Luka needs to become a more efficient shooter, but this number doesn't tell the whole story. We are the nerds of the basketball community. Thank you for making numbers mean something and allowing me to amalgamate the two things I love most in this world: numbers and things that shouldn't be able to be explained with numbers. You created the Sloan Conference, and that was the one time a year I was in the same room with a girl I was not directly related to. Thank you for empowering me to never watch a minute of basketball ever again. Small ball forever! Corner threes! The mid-range is dead!